Long ago, before the first city was built, and before humans learned to write, people looked at the sky and wondered. They saw storms, mountains, oceans, and believed that each one carried a story. Stories of gods, stories of monsters, stories of heroes who tried to rise above their destiny. Tonight, I will take you into that ancient world, a world where the sky was a god, the earth was a goddess, and every river had a spirit living inside it. This is the story of Greek mythology, told as a journey, a legend, a living memory of the ancient world. So get comfortable, take a breath, and step with me into the beginning of everything. The birth of the world. In the beginning, there was nothing. No sky, no sea, no earth. Only chaos, a silent, endless space. From this quiet emptiness came the first beings. Gaia, the earth, opened like a great green blanket. Tartarus, the deep abyss, waited beneath. And Eros, the force of creation, moved through the darkness like a warm light. Gaia, full of life, shaped mountains, forests, and rivers. Then she created Uranus, the sky, and lifted him high above her. The sky looked down upon the earth, loved her, and together they had children, the Titans, the Cyclopes, and the giants. But Uranus feared his powerful children. He pushed them back into the earth, trapping them inside Gaia. Gaia's pain grew day by day until she could not bear it. So she called her sons. "Who will help me?" she asked. Only one stepped forward, Cronus, the youngest, silent and clever. With Gaia's help, Cronus overthrew his father and became the new ruler of the cosmos. But he never learned one ancient truth. Whatever you do to others will one day return to you. The Age of Cronus. Cronus ruled over the world during the Golden Age. It was a peaceful time. Humans lived without fear, crops grew easily, and no one grew old. But the prophecy haunted Cronus. One day, your own child will defeat you. Afraid, he swallowed every baby Rhea gave birth to. One by one, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon disappeared into his stomach. Rhea suffered in silence until her sixth child. She hid the newborn on the island of Crete and gave Cronus a simple stone wrapped in cloth. He swallowed it without a second thought. That child was Zeus. Zeus grew in secret, raised by nymphs, fed with magical milk, and protected by warriors who beat their shields so Cronus would not hear him cry. When Zeus became strong enough, he returned home. With clever planning, he forced Cronus to release his siblings. The sky shook, the sea roared, mountains split. The Titanomachy, the great war between Titans and Olympians, had begun. For 10 long years, the world burned with thunder, fire, and stone. But in the end, Zeus and his siblings won. A new world began. The Olympian world. After the war, Zeus stood on Mount Olympus and gave order to the world. To Poseidon he gave the sea, deep, powerful, unpredictable. To Hades he gave the underworld, dark, quiet, eternal. To himself he kept the sky, lightning, and the throne of the cosmos. The Olympian family grew quickly. There was Athena, born fully armed from Zeus's head, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. Apollo, god of light and music, whose voice carried prophecy. Artemis, guardian of the moon and protector of wild places. Ares, the spirit of war and fury. Aphrodite, rising from the sea foam, so beautiful even the gods paused to breathe when she appeared. Hermes, fast and clever, moving between worlds with ease. And Dionysus, god of wine, joy, and madness. The gods were powerful, but also emotional. They loved, argued, fought, made mistakes. They were more like humans than perfect beings. And maybe that's why their stories survived, because in them we see ourselves. The story of Prometheus. Not all heroes were human. Prometheus, a titan, looked at the new world and wished to help the weaker beings living on the earth. He shaped humans from clay, gently forming arms, hands, and faces. But humans were cold. They could not survive the night or build their own tools. So Prometheus climbed Mount Olympus and stole something forbidden: fire. He carried it down the mountain and placed it into human hands. Fire gave warmth, safety, light, and knowledge. Zeus was furious. This act challenged the order of the world. So Zeus punished Prometheus in the harshest way, chaining him to a lonely mountain where an eagle came each day to tear at his liver, which grew back every night. But humans kept the fire, and with it they built their first homes, their first tools, their first civilizations. Prometheus suffered, but humanity rose. Heroes of the ancient world. Greek mythology did not only belong to gods, it belonged to the heroes, mortals who dared to reach beyond their limits. Heracles. Born with incredible strength, he was forced to complete 12 impossible labors. He fought lions, monsters, giants, and even captured death itself. But his true power was not strength, it was endurance. Perseus. With a bronze shield shining like a mirror, he faced Medusa, the monster whose eyes turned men to stone. He moved carefully, slowly, looking only at her reflection. When he struck, the world seemed to stop. Theseus. In the twisting darkness of the labyrinth, he walked alone. Waiting inside was the Minotaur, a creature of nightmare. Theseus fought for his people, for freedom, and for the chance to return home. Jason. Leader of the Argonauts, he sailed across dangerous seas in search of the Golden Fleece. His journey was filled with magic, betrayal, and bravery. Achilles. The greatest warrior of the Trojan War, invincible, fast, terrifying, and yet human, with one small weakness that would define his fate. Odysseus. A man of clever words and quick thinking. His long journey home after the war became a legend of monsters, storms, gods, and temptation. Each hero carried a message that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to walk forward anyway. Gods and humans.
The gods watched humans closely. Sometimes they helped, sometimes they punished, and sometimes they fell in love. The ancient Greeks used these stories to understand life. When winter came and the crops died, they said Demeter was mourning her daughter Persephone. When waves rose high and ships sank, they said Poseidon was angry. When someone became too proud, they remembered the fall of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun. Every myth carried a lesson. Every story protected a truth, and every truth shaped the ancient world. Why these stories still live? Thousands of years have passed. Empires rose and fell. Languages changed. But the myths survived. We still read them, watch them, study them, because they are not just stories about gods. They are stories about us, our fears, our hopes, our desire for meaning, our battles with destiny, love, ambition, and pride. Greek mythology is a mirror. When we look into it, we do not only see Zeus or Athena, we see humanity, trying, failing, learning, and rising again. And that brings us to the end of our story, the journey from the birth of the universe to the rise of gods, heroes, and the first humans. Thank you for walking this path with me. If you enjoyed this mythological adventure, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The ancient world is full of stories, and this is only the beginning.